Hello and welcome to the Adventure Archive. My name is Ryan, and I will be your dungeon master this evening as we continue our evil campaign in the Dark Kingdoms. With me, as always, we have Matt as Victor the Calder, the Human Death Cleric, Jess as Dariana Bloodright, the elf-marked Seraphage Sorceress, Jason as Cutter the Faceless, the Daracool Rogue Duelist. Andy will not be joining us this evening. I will be playing the disgruntled gnome. He is our gnome divination wizard. And Eric S. Sylvester, the damp, so wet, moist even. The damp pure warlock with his imp familiar Annie. Could we get a TGT in the chat, please, for the wonderful Gilded Steph? Thank you. The Dark Kingdoms takes place in the Midgard setting, which is published by Kobold Press, so you will notice some differences in some of the classes, features, creatures, locations, all those kind of things. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And please be aware, this is an evil campaign with evil-aligned characters in a dark fantasy setting, and as such may not be suitable for everybody. Graphic descriptions of gore, murder, mutilation, torture are fairly common. So just be aware. Thank you for the lurk, Horrible Tomato. Appreciate you being here. So prior to last time, do we have any new business? Did anything happen since last week? I don't think so.
No, just the new campaign tomorrow.
Oh, hey, thank you so much for the resub, Jay Miller. Can we get a Jordan in the chat, please? Yeah, new campaign starting tomorrow. We'll talk about it more at the end, but Morkborg, go check it out, morkborg.com. Just flipping through their website, and you will see what kind of game it is. Please go look at that, and we will be starting that tomorrow evening. Our Theros, the first arc of our Theros campaign wrapped up on Monday. It was a wonderful session. I actually got to be a player for the first time, so go check that out when you get a chance. So I think we can just kind of crack right into this then. And thank you so much for the follow, Drow007. Drow are indeed my favorite Forgotten Realms things. So good job.
Got a lot of jazz hands already tonight, Ryan.
I'm tired, and like the finger guns are just like coming out. I don't know why.
Ooh, we're gonna die.
Ooh, man, listen.
That's what cheers Ryan up, is some player character death.
Oh my god. I need more of that and a splash of whiskey. So,
yes, sir.
Why don't you guys tell me what happened over the last 2 sessions?
I don't know.
Oh, Eric does not know. He was not here.
Good thing we have the master note taker.
Yeah,
we go.
I'll try to keep it simple. So we finally learned how a Shadow Fae Ranger should be played. ably by our dear friend Janelle. Selvin, she was amazing, kicked some ass. We know that we have to find some Gravebinders in Siwal, and the quickest way to get there, because it's so far away, was to spend about a week, six nights to be exact, in the Shadow Fae. The first couple nights sucked.
On a Shadow Road.
On a Shadow Road.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A Shadow Road is a magical pathway along ley lines that was originally controlled by the elves before they left for the Summerlands, and have since been corrupted by the Shadow Fae, and that's what you guys were on.
Oh, so it actually is not part of the. It's just the road itself. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like you're not in the Shadow Fae. It is its own self-contained thing, but it's almost as if the Shadow Fae has leaked out onto the Shadow Roads and corrupted them in the same way that they are. It's cool. You're not technically in the Shadow Realm. It's kind of a contained system.
Sweet. We're still kind of in pursuit of Duke Drago Blackfly, who has our guy, the Duke Avgost, who's going to be supposedly in some sort of ceremony that we need to break up. Unfortunately, he's underground, perhaps at the city of Vardakul. And because Victor annoyingly is mortal and human, they need to find these Gravebinders to be able to walk amongst the undead unhindered, I believe is what Ryan said last time. We leveled up to level 12, which was awesome. I had a weird note that Beedham was trying to build a bone cage, which luckily never was used. And then things we ran across some people that tried to stop us, essentially, along the way. And then the really cool battle last session with these things called Orphans of the Orphans of the Night or something like that? Orphans of the Black. Inspectors and wraiths. And so Victor, I think for the first time, probably in 10 levels, got to turn undead, which is pretty cool.
And rocked a lot of them.
Yeah. So I'm getting a little better, and I got to watch Ryan play Death Player, so I'm figuring that out. And yeah, I guess we're at the gate. We're going to be at the gate tomorrow, so we're just coming off the Shadow Road. And I think we just killed. He wasn't a Shadow Fae. What was the guy that we just killed at the stones that we just came to? There's like stones with runes and stuff.
Yeah, so he was appeared to be some type of elfish humanoid,
Gotcha.
wearing a livery for Duke Drago Blackfly. Long story short, to kind of wrap where we're at kind of like the most recent long arc, the players are working for the Vampire King of Morgau, Lucan, and have been sent to try to figure out what is kind of messing with their alliance with the Darrakul of the Ghoul Imperium, as well as squashing a heretical branch of the Church of the Blood Goddess that is rising. And the players have been encountering both, and what they figured out is there's some type of splinter group within the Ghoul Imperium that is in some way, shape, or form plotting, and they have determined that it is controlled by a Duke Drago Blackfly, which they learned is supposedly one of the Ghoul Emperor's favorites. They have been hunting this Archduke because they've been told by numerous oracles and sources across the world that he is incredibly important in some type of ritual that must be stopped in order to preserve the world. And he has just been slipping through their fingertips. He was last abducted by some of the forces of Duke Drago Blackfly and taken to what they believe is the pure city of Vandercool, deep underground within the Ghoul Imperium. And in order to get there, considering that only one of you, Cutter, is fully dead, and Eric is kind of dead, kind of alive, in order to pass safely through an entire empire of flesh-eating ghouls, they need something that will protect them in some way, shape, or form from the undead. They were told by a temporary ally to go to the Gravebinders of Siwal in the Southlands to try to get something that may help. And it is a 2,500 mile trek that was shortened by using a shadow road, and it took them 6 days. Right at the end, they ran into forces from Duke Drago Blackfly. They battled them, and prior to him being able to open the portal and leaving, he was murdered. Not murdered. He was successfully killed to shit by the party, and hopefully, as far as they're aware, maybe word of their comings and goings and plans may or may not have left before them. So they may or may not be going into Vandercool with Duke Drago Blackfly aware of their actions. Prior to them going on the Shadow Road, as they were walking onto it, one of the members of the party, Sylvester, our Dampier Warlock, he walked through first, and when the rest of the party came out the other side, he was not there.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
could I have everybody but Eric take off your headphones, please? And when I do this, come back.
Okay.
All right. All right. I remembered something that time.
Good call.
Yeah. Give me just one moment. Gotta make sure we set this. All right. So Eric, Sylvester. As you walk through the portal, following the figure wearing the face of your brother, you step into a massive chamber.
Is Annie with me, by the way?
She is.
Okay.
Purple flames burn in sconces along both sides of the room, and laid out in front of you is a carpet that leads to a raised dais. As you turn back towards the figure that led you here, what you now see is a blue-robed, shapely woman with a sharp-toothed leonine visage and long, needle-like claws protruding from her lithe fingertips. Her dark blue feline eyes narrow in hungry anticipation as she walks past you and beckons for you to follow. She guides you to the stairs that lead to the raised dais and gestures for you to ascend the steps. When you do, you see that you are ringed on four sides by statues of mounted, fiendish knights with lances aimed right at you. Before you rises a massive throne, positioned in front of a window that appears to look out upon an endless night. And seated on that throne is your patron. This hulking fiend has a frightening leonine head atop the preternatural physique of a huge human body. A pronged crown sits upon his maned skull, and his eyes burn with a deep labradorite iridescence. His ashen left hand is idly stroking the head of a massive, fiendish black bear that is staring at you with murderous intent. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see it. He's a handsome devil. Is the trumpet actually there? Or the horn?
It's resting actually
Okay.
on his hip.
All right. Okay.
So I'll just move this guy down a little bit. He looks down at you and says, Hamish, we meet at last. Do you know who I am?
I give a bow, like reverence, and well, I know you're my favorite. But by name I do not, I'm sorry to say.
I am Barzilon, the King of Secrets. You have done my bidding well, and you deserve to be rewarded. Barzilon raises his hand and gestures just behind you. And as he does, you hear a small shriek. When you look, you see Annie writhing on the throne room floor. As you watch, her color slowly changes from bright red to a deep purple. She shrieks again as spines force their way through her skin, erupting across her form. They cover her entire body, and not only that, she grows in size as well. As this transformation finishes, you see this new creature stretch out and spread its spiny wings as if getting used to its new body. And this is what you now see before you.
Oh, hell yeah. Man, he's badass. Nice. I'm still like just kind of holding that bow though.
This creature that you call Annie, my vassal, my puppet, has been strengthened. And so has your control of her. She is more viable now. Use her well.
I don't speak, but I give just kind of like a reverent nod.
I assume you must have some questions for me.
Well, not to be presumptuous, but I feel like owe you. And I've been having quite a good time doing your bidding so far as I can guess your bidding is. But if there's anything more you want of me, I would be happy to oblige. More than happy. Ecstatic to oblige.
I want you to continue to leave a swath of deceit and chaos in your wake. That is all. It's not hard, and you're very good at it. Continue
I kind of give a little smile.
Continue to spread my agenda, and you may see me again in the future.
Again, I just nod.
Parzlon settles back on his throne, and the blue-robed Leonin woman appears at your side. She gestures for you to follow and guides you down the dais, back to the portal you entered. As you step through, we will come back to everybody else. Was there something real quick you wanted, Eric?
Stats on Annie?
Yeah. Sorry, everybody but Eric, take your headphones off again. Sorry. Let me explain mechanically what just happened. You, Annie, is now not an imp. She is a spined devil.
Ooh, fuck. Okay.
I will send you her D&D Beyond stat block. You also feel what he said about her strengthening and your control of her as well.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a new power take you over as you're walking down back towards the portal.
All right.
You have gained an additional Eldritch invocation.
Oh.
You have the investment of the Chain Master.
Awesome. I know what that is.
I kind of assumed you did. So for those that are unaware of what investment of the Chain Master does for a Pact of the Chain user, the familiar gains a flying speed, which she already has. As a bonus action, the warlock can command the familiar to take the attack action. And spine devils have multi-attack. You have multi-attack during the attack action if you use the bonus action to make your attack.
Okay.
Familiar's weapons are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance.
Mm-hmm.
If the familiar forces a creature to make a saving throw, it uses your spell save DC. And when your familiar takes damage, as a reaction, you can grant it resistance against that damage. But the Spine Devil does have some additional immunities and stuff. I think similar to what the Imp has, like all the devil immunities,
Right.
cold, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, Spine Devil Annie was tiny. Spine Devil is small.
Oh.
It's
okay.
not quite as
A little
small
bit
as
bigger.
Annie. Yeah.
Okay.
But make sure you read through the stat block because there are some other differences. She's definitely going to be better in combat, but might not be. There's definitely some trade-offs.
Right. Not as sneaky for me.
I would assume not as sneaky, especially since they don't have invisibility.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So yeah, she's like she's going from like Chihuahua to like, small dog at this point.
Okay.
All right. It's nice to explain mechanics instead of forgetting.
Mechanics are fun.
Mechanics are fun. So all of you have just defeated this this group of people, 3 Shadow Fae, this elf, and 2 what looked like Imperial ghouls, all. Hey, thank you so much, Steph. We got a Bane and 2 Blesses. Let me add those in real quick before we get going. I really appreciate that. Can we get some Banes and Blesses in the chat, please? I'm up to 9, my favorite number. Eric, you are now
Too
up
many. I
to...
got to spend these days.
Same. Can we get an L2S in the
12.
chat, please, as well?
I'm at 12 as far as my calculation.
You are 11.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Tomato.
Tomato. 11, 12. We're deep in the double digits. Eric, you don't need to do too much with this one. But you all had just defeated this elf, these 3 Shadow Fae, and 2 armored ghouls, all emblazoned with the silver Blackfly of Duke Drago Blackfly of the Ghoul Imperium. He had just finishing tracing along the portal to leave the Shadow Road, and the portal had opened right as he died, just before exiting. You guys all said your goodbyes to Selvin and stepped through the portal. And as you step out on the other side, you find yourselves standing next to a large date palm in the center of a circle of 7 slightly smaller palm trees. The trees sit in what appears to be a small park. A warm gust of air filled with the scent of exotic spices, hot sand, and incense passes through the trees. The change in temperature from the cool darkness of the Shadow Realm to the heat in the Southlands deserts is immediately apparent. And as each of you are looking around, another figure steps out of the portal behind you. You see Sylvester.
So where am I on this map?
You are nowhere. I just need to switch maps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But for reference, for everybody, this is where the players roughly were. In the northern part of Morgau and Doresh. And I'm not going to trace the entire Shadow Road, but this is where you are now.
Oh, damn.
So in 6 days, you traversed
That's awesome.
all the way to here.
Is it safe to say this is like a Midgard kind of Egypt, kind of Middle East kind of thing?
Sure. I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at the map of Midgard, you can basically see that it's very, very modeled after.
Cool.
It's very model. So Nuria Natal is a very kind of Egypt themed. Like you can see, it's a big kind of
to the west. Okay.
Well, it's a huge river with a big population density around it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. And then this is I want to clear the drawings, make the drawings go away. Well, regardless, this is Nuria Natal, and you can see how far down Siwal is away from what would be a big population density here. So you can see where Siwal is. So as you all step out into this kind of like palm tree filled park, and Sylvester walks out of the portal behind you, what do you do?
So
You missed all the fun, but I trust you found your own, eh?
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away for a moment, but how's everybody doing?
We are doing very well, Sylvester.
Terrible.
Pretty good.
The sun.
Yes, I see. It's a bright, sunny day here. No good.
And yes,
definitely just
it
tugging
is.
my cloak around my head.
It is indeed a bright, sunny day. I think I'm getting choppy here. Not at its peak. It's actually approaching evening in Siwal, so the heat is oppressive. The sun is still shining, but you see that the sun is gradually descending down towards the horizon. Again, you are surrounded by this park.
And can I tell that I'm way further south?
Have you ever been this far south in your travels?
No.
No. I have never been to Egypt, but I am aware of its general climate and vibe, I guess. So in the sense that
And I kind of knew where we were trying to get as well.
You were trying to get to see, well, you were in the Southlands, and you get the feeling with palm trees in front of you and sand under your feet, you probably made it.
Okay. So,
Thank you,
that was
Janelle.
really amazingly fast.
What happened to you?
I just had to make a quick pit stop. I kind of surprised you even noticed I was gone.
It's kind of funny how you entered.
You're
the door.
unforgettable.
Your gnome friend Beatum. Your gnome friend Beatum is like, where have you been, Sylvester? We could have used your help.
But how much trouble could you have gotten in? I mean, to me, I've only been gone an hour, right? Approximately. That's kind of like,
if even that, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what? I was gone like an hour. How much trouble could you have gotten into?
Sylvester, we have been gone for nearly a week. Are you sure? Were you on Shadow Road yourself?
Yeah, well, so no, kind of, maybe in a way. So wait, a week? Victor, I know you're a good traveler, but sometimes you can be a bit daft. So I looked to the other two. Is a week?
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days.
Well, interesting. No, for me it was an hour. Approximately, give or take. Well, that's odd.
You must have taken a better road.
Well, it's still a.
No wonder our guide was so cheap.
Oh, by the way, you didn't happen to pay her, did you? Because that was a fucking ripoff. Pardon my language, but They're asking us to save the
No.
day, but we have to pay for a guide, and it's like, ridiculous.
She's actually turned out to be one of my kind.
One of your kind, good kind,
Skin,
or one of your
face, and
kind?
all.
Interesting.
Quite competent.
Did you kill her?
She was
No.
already very much
No benefit.
dead, my
All
friend.
right, fair enough.
So, do you know where we are heading? We are here, but I am not sure where Gravebinders might be.
Well, maybe if we leave this accursed park, we
Yeah,
would
do we-
find them.
Okay, so is Victor still holding Beatum?
Is Victor still holding Beatum?
He kind of had him, right? Like kind of up on his shoulders for a while, but then he did heal him up, like before we hopped in here. So
I don't see why he would walk on his own 2 feet if you would carry him.
yeah. So okay. So where would you like to go, Beatum, my friend?
Somewhere out of this accursed heat.
Hmm.
Based on our geographical location, I don't know that there is a place out of this heat.
I am guessing, though, you want to find a den where they provide a requiem? Yes.
Well, I mean, I would not be opposed to having a smoke, I guess. But you can see, like, as soon as you said that, like, he gets this kind of this light in his head where it's just like, oh, yes, they make requiem here. This could be very good for him. Can we get a don't do drugs in chat, please?
No.
So, do we have an idea of where we need to go?
As of right now, you were told to find the Gravebinders in Siwal. As far as you are aware, you are in a small park in Siwal. You hear the sounds of a city all around you, but you seem to be nestled in this small oasis. These again, you're right in front of this massive tree with other small trees around it. But it does appear to just be almost like a city park. So
we're not like in the desert, kind of looking in on the city.
You are not
We're
in the desert.
Gotcha.
You hear the sounds of the city around you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get going. Lead the way, Sylvester.
All right. I'm gonna strut on out of the park.
Okay. As you exit the park,
Oh, what type part of the world is this? Like, is it mainly? Do I have any idea? Is it mainly human? Is it?
as you exit the park, you kind of see a mix of everything.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of make myself look a little more human.
Okay.
I just used to Dampiers not being super.
You see most of the buildings. You see that most of the buildings and main avenues and all of the high walls surrounding the city are lined with gardens and fruit trees. Minaret-topped buildings soar above granite fountains, pluming fresh or perfumed water into their basins. As you continue to walk through, you see marble statues of heroes and gods littering city intersections and parks. And the first thing you notice is that the city itself is bustling. Camel and mule-drawn carts choke the streets, with urchins running between, picking pockets of merchants and other travelers, and having picked several pockets, you see them being chased by the Sultan's watch. Storytellers walk amongst the visitors to the city, loudly intoning tales of 10,000 different heroes in lyrical and poetic language. Sellers of all manners of good are everywhere. The main thoroughfare, which you overhear at one point being called the Grand Souk, contains hundreds of colorful stalls, carts, stands, and rugs heaped with goods. Vendors can also be found tending small carts or stalls along the roadside, and you see occasionally additional parks similar to the ones that you came out on. The clashing scents of luscious fruits, cooking meats, perfumes, incense, middens, and body odor makes the air both intoxicating and repulsive in turns. You're jostled on all sides by this crowd, mostly ignoring you, going about their own business. What do you do?
So two things. One, I'll as soon as I saw population, I've dismissed Annie. And two, who has the bag of folding?
I think Beatum has it, right?
I think I do.
Dariana has
I
it.
think Jess. I think Dariana's been carrying it because she kind of like stuffs Brian in and out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
he's
just
in right now.
So I just kind of look to you with the bag. I say, hold tight to the bag. There seems to be a lot of pickpockets around.
I will.
And I've got my hand on the rod I have around my waist. I have my hand on my rod. Anyways, we'll move on.
Ew.
I know, sorry. Hey,
Roll for Chubb.
Yeah,
Right.
are you rolling Chubb?
of course.
Wow. All right.
I
Rod.
didn't mean for that to
Not quite Chubb.
It's a rod
got
of a
the,
pack keeper.
oh.
I didn't want to say
Yeah,
the whole
one
thing.
for Rod.
Just
Pack
hands
keeper,
on
that's
it.
what they're calling it. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So,
All right.
Beat them if you don't mind. I would like to
Well, I
very
got
much
18 on it though.
get one of those delicious skewers of meats. Would you like to share with me? And he walks over to one of the vendors because the last time he hasn't seen like good food since they left Paranalia basically, and he kind of smells that grilling meat and kind of takes him back to like the caravans and the Ruthenian plain. And so I'm assuming that a little bit of copper will go a long way here in Siwal.
as you try to kind of say that in your own way to the vendors, you're kind of scoffed at and almost ignored when you pull out the coppers. Siwal is small but bustling, and you find the prices to be a little bit high.
Oh. How much for this delicious looking kebab?
That will be half a silver piece.
Better get two then. I only have a full silver piece. And he kind of flicks the silver piece, and he's gonna get like the smallest looking one he can find and kind of hold it up so that Beat him can have a little bit of food, because I think I just healed him, but he probably hasn't eaten in a while. And then he's just gonna kind of take a look at the land. After he gives him the silver piece, he pulls out a gold to kind of catch the guy's eyes, and then ask him if he have. We are looking for, I believe, which you would call Gravebinders. Where would you find those?
The Gravebinders of Siwal, yes. You are new to the city, are you not? You do not look like you are from here.
Of course I am not from here, friend. I'm from very far away, but we have similar taste in meat. Is this lamb?
Sure, it is lamb.
Good, because I am vegetarian. So, yes, not from here. Gravebinders. Where would we find them?
Yes, I believe I may know something of the Gravebinders. I'm not quite sure. And the
And then he
merchant
kind of
is
like,
kind of.
perhaps this will jog memory, and he just gives him a gold piece because he hasn't spent money probably in months.
Gotcha. And he takes a gold piece from you and he says, "Yes, I think this helps a little bit. I think I'm not sure though if I remember." And like looks at you again.
So I kind of look at Sylvester and I'm like, I believe he may know, but I do not speak his language, Sylvester.
Oh, you speak his language, and you're speaking it well. You're feeding him exactly what he wants.
But I know I can be daft at times.
But
How much should I speak?
Well, I think you should. I'll lean over. So, I'm about to walk away with my friend. If you know, tell me how much you need to tell us. If you don't, then we'll be on our way.
I like when people can be upfront. One more, and I will give you some information.
All right. We'll
And
toss him
he-
one more.
Yeah.
All right. The Gravebinders are in the Hall of the Gravebinders at the Grand Necropolis.
Of course they are.
We should have looked at the map.
And did he give us did he point like the Grand Acropolis?
Oh, yes, the Grand Necropolis lies
Yeah.
just a short walk north of the city on the other side of the Anubis Gates.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes. It has been quite interesting lately with the Gravebinders. They've been having some troubles.
Why so? Troubles.
I don't I can't remember what they might have.
Hey, you know what? I'd love a kebab. And I'll hand him a gold for the kebab.
Ah, yes, we have the best lamb kebab. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check with that?
Gladly.
I can't remember if Beatum likes food or not.
Well, he doesn't eat people like Cutter.
Yeah, he's kind of. I think I picture Beatum kind of being a little bit excited about having like something that
Well,
tastes decent.
Beatum has kind of, over the course of the Shadow Road,
So-
been drained of the majority of his strength
Yeah.
by shadows. He was filled with crossbow bolts from the Shadow
Yep.
Fae and stuff like that.
Yep.
He's kind of been beaten to hell, so he is like just ravishing
Yeah.
this to the point that like the lamb juice is actually dripping on your head as he's
Yeah.
sitting on your shoulders, just
And
like
I think where the
nomming on this
Chernobog's
stuff.
where Chernobog's rune is at, there's like little kind of the drippings of it.
Yes,
We're
just,
good with
and what did you roll?
26.
26.
Ooh,
Yes.
come on, Byron.
He says, I like your style, friend. There has been issues with the law of the Grand Necropolis. You see, they deal with the undead. They bury our dead, right? But in the Grand Necropolis, right, the law is that during the day, the Gravebinders can do their job. And they leave, and at night, the undead can do as they wish.
Ooh.
But lately, the undead are out in the day. We have not been able to lay our dead to rest.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes. Many blame the Ilya family. I think it is him as well.
The Ilya family.
Ilya family.
Hmm.
Yes, they should not have messed where they should not have been.
How did they mess?
As you say this, one of those storytellers that's been kind of walking through with its lyrical voice and all this stuff kind of comes out of the crowd and kind of puts an arm around both of you guys and steers you away, and he says, the Ilya family, I can tell you a tale of the Ilya family for just a paltry sum.
Do we notice any like little street urchins around us?
I'll
Like,
roll me
really
a
close,
perception
like-
check. Roll
Check.
me a perception check.
Okay.
Also, Dariana's holding on really tight to the bag. Because
Really
Brian's
important
in it.
question. Are you one shouldering this or are you like cross shouldering this?
I feel like I'd cross shoulder it.
All right.
But I mean, she's like really clutching onto it now, maybe hiding it under her cape a little.
Gotcha.
22.
What did you roll? A 22. What? Oh, for the perception check, there are definitely some urchins kind of running in and out of literally everywhere. It's jam packed, and you just see them like just popping out from between people occasionally. You actually feel one reach up towards your belt, and right as you notice, you're able to just smack the hand away as it clutches onto one of your possessions.
Okay. Can he try to grab the hand?
Sure, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Is that good? Oh, Okay.
Not quite. Not
there we
quite.
go.
You think you have it, but it's like that game you play where
No,
you
he's
put
got
the hands
lamb.
on the
He's
hands
got
and
lamb
you do like
juice.
one of these.
He's got lamb juice on his hands, and he's
the tiny little
slips
fingers
right
just slip out of your grasp, and
nice.
the little urchin disappears into the crowd.
And he screams "Pergatza" at him, which probably nobody knows what it means because it's in Kariv, but it's kind of like "Go fuck yourself."
No one even look.
Oh no! Did Ryan just freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid drink again.
Oh,
There he goes. He's back.
Don't drink, kids.
Yeah.
What?
Don't drink.
Why are you doing this to me? Let's put everything in airplane mode. Let's make sure Kaylee's off the internet. I pay too much money for my goddamn internet to be freezing. Spectrum. Am I back? Are we good?
You are
Yep.
good.
All right. Where was I? Oh yes, this storyteller, arms draped over your shoulders, says, "For just a paltry sum, I will tell you the story of the Ilya family and the Gravebinders of the Grand Necropolis."
So I'm gonna try and use my what is it? So the damn pure charisma thing.
Ooh,
Predatory charm.
predatory charm. Okay,
Yeah, for him just how about you just tell us?
okay. And how does your
My
predatory charm work?
So it's basically, want me to read it really quick?
Sure. Yeah.
As an action, you can magically beguile the mind of a creature that you can see within 30 feet. For 1 hour, you have advantage on charisma checks made against the target. If you are an ally, attack or damage the target, this effect ends. When the effect ends, the target feels repulsed by you and becomes hostile towards you until the next dawn,
All
during
right.
which time it becomes immune to this effect.
Okay. So you do like the straight up anime style, like stare into his eyes. Like he
Yes.
looks in your eyes and there's like a glint across both at the same time. And you have advantage on charisma checks against him. So what are you telling him as he's like, "I will tell you the tale"?
So I put my arm around him. I'm like, you are obviously a spinner of tales. I am light in the purse, but I would love to hear the tale anyhow.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Ooh. Not good. 12. I'm going to bless that.
I was waiting for it. Can we drop some blesses in the chat, please?
Ooh, so 13.
13.
I got to race and bless.
So he says, you appear to be quite interested. Maybe for even for a more paltry sum, I will weave you the tale. I cannot. This is my job, man. I have to do something. Like, just give me.
All right. I'll hand him a silver.
Yes, the price of admission. And he gathers you all around. The rest of the crowd kind of bustling past you as he kind of leads you to the entrance of a city, and he begins to tell you the story of the Ilya family. Oh, I actually have different music for this, or for the bazaar at least.
Good music.
Yeah. One of the notable families in the city of Siwal is the Ilya family, and many a rumor abounds about them. I will tell you the tale of the oldest rumors of how they were betrayed inside the walls of their own catacomb. This story is of Masudi and Makani Ilya, a pair of capable brothers eager for adventure. While their exploits were legendary, it is the end of their story that carries on hundreds of years later. It is said the pair, along with some companions, defeated a powerful being, but they were unable to destroy it. One of their companions was killed in the process, and another retired, eager for a simpler, quieter life. It was the brothers' intention to seal the creature away where it could do no harm. Enlisting the help of some capable magic users, the brothers entered their family's catacomb and attempted to seal the creature inside. Things went to plan until some of the people the Ilya brother enlisted betrayed them. Masudi and Makani were murdered, and their bodies left inside the complex. Their father, Knurn, happened upon one of the traitors the day after the murders and inquired of his sons. Seeing the man in possession of some of Ilya family heirlooms, he knew something was wrong and summoned the guards, who quickly took the man and his compatriots into custody. For many generations now, some members of the Ilya family argue someone should go into the complex to lay Masudi and Makani to rest, but others disagreed, stating the pair should not have entered the sacred space with ones so evil and disrespectful. Thus far, the brothers have been left in the care of those who passed before them. And the figure takes a bow and makes his way back out into the crowd, weaving another tale, and his voice disappearing into the bustle as he walks away.
Nice.
All right, well, I'm not sure that was worth a silver, but whatever.
It does seem like we
So-
know who to look for in Grand Necropolis, yes?
Yeah.
I say
So,
we,
shall we go?
begin heading towards Anubis Gate. And it will be dark soon. I'm sure Cutter, you might appreciate that.
Very much.
Dariana, do you need anything in town before we head out gate?
No, I don't believe so.
Good.
From atop you, you feel this like tap on the top of your head as you feel this kebab stick just kind of like, Victor, let's be down. There are things that I need to find. I will not be long. And he pats, make sure he has some of the gems and coins on him still, and he says, I will find you.
We will meet you at gate, Beaton. Do not be long.
Of course not. I will find you. And he just disappears into the crowd.
I think we are better off without him, my friends. He's had a rough time and he's not looking well.
He'll look better passed out in an alley.
And we haven't let because he doesn't have the bag of holding. Like, we're not too worried about him getting rolled.
All right.
I mean, he's
Okay.
smaller than most of the street urchins that are robbing
Yeah,
everybody.
Right. He can do some serious damage to him.
Yeah. If we hear a giant explosion before we make it
yeah,
out,
exactly.
we'll run to it. So, Cutter, you are best with finding directions. I'm assuming you know where north is, and we look for this Anubis. Yes.
I'll do my best, but this light is not helping.
So Victor kind of looks around. Do they have like little umbrella like vendors?
Aerosol.
Roll me
I want to see Cutter carrying a
You buy me an umbrella. I'll wear what's left of your face.
Yes, that's it's good to have you back, Cutter. Right? I know this is not your weather, but quicker we get to gate, quicker sun sets. Yes.
It would just be functional, Cutter. I know how you love your functionality.
I
You don't seem
need
like the
you.
main type.
If I do not want anything to get in the way of mission, and if sun will be problem, this seems like a solution.
I mean, I imagine it's not going to fix my problem because it's about seeing into the sunlight, not
Yeah.
sun necessarily being in my eyes,
Well, let us go then.
Well, it's like wearing, a ball cap
So,
or something. It's,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I will attempt to
Or perhaps we get
Orient.
one face. Well, I look around here. The people that live here, the sun seems to make their skin beautiful, beautiful, dark brown, rich color. Perhaps you just need a new face. Yes. You have like a
Good
shadow
idea.
face right now, don't you?
No, I have Pretty Boy.
Oh, it's worse. Yeah.
You have
No, I
who
think
are
I
you-
messed up
face
the
are you
Shadow
wearing?
Fae, and then I ate it because
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
"Ah,
that's
I
right. You
don't
ate
know."
it like a
You
fruit
did.
roll up. That's right.
Did you
Yeah,
take
I
the
ate it.
face off of the elf though, or whose face do you have?
It
Because
was
if you
the-
haven't
I
got a
think it
face
was
in a
the
while,
elf.
okay. Because otherwise, it would be getting pretty slimy. So
Are there any
Well, remember,
sunglass
I'm wearing
vendors?
the magically preserved one.
yeah, they're very large and overpriced. The
The
sunglasses.
sunglasses?
Are.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but they're real.
Hmm.
No, there's no sunglass vendors. What are we doing,
I
guys?
mean,
I think we're going to the
Yeah,
Anubis gate.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna make our way north.
If maybe if Cutter sees like some drunk like passed out in the alleyway with good skin tone, maybe he can get himself a new face on our way out of town.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Cutter does with faces. So what are you guys doing? You were told the direction of the Grand Acropolis. It is a short walk.
Out of the Anubis gate.
Yep.
And the Gravebinders are cleverly located at the something of the Gravebinders palace, maybe.
They work at the Hall of the Gravebinders,
The hall.
which is just at the entrance of the Grand Acropolis.
Okay.
And all you've heard of is that there is a Grand Acropolis, but not much about the Grand Acropolis except that apparently it is where they lay their dead and undead stalk it at night.
Perhaps we stop for a moment and I will say a little prayer. The necropolis seems like something that my father may know about. And so if Victor could, like, he'd just kind of like to jog through his memory and maybe see if as like a death cleric, maybe he has knowledge of if this is this the biggest necropolis in Midgard?
I would say, just based on your backstory and your travels, that
Too
you
far.
really don't have much information
Yeah.
about. Yeah, they don't even really have horses here
Yeah.
around you.
Oh.
All you see are camels.
Oh, dirty
Yeah.
camel. Cutter,
Yeah.
we do not trust horse with hump. It's ridiculous. Perhaps we get going, we learn more about this necropolis. It seems like it should be very obvious.
Let us go there.
Let's go.
Okay.
So he knows to the north, so start heading north and looking
Yeah,
for.
we'll just start heading north.
Just
And-
based on the sun, you're just gonna pick a direction and start heading out.
Oh.
Sure, yeah.
Well, and we'll look. Would we have knowledge of what an Anubis is? As players.
So it's just you were told it was called the Anubis Gate. It's not
Okay.
necessarily like a giant Anubis with a gate in it.
Okay.
right.
It is just the given name of the gate. Yeah. So as you guys make your way through, maybe occasionally just like grabbing a passerby and asking which direction the Anubis Gate is, you continually
Yeah.
get enough points in the right direction mixed in with a lot of points in the exact opposite direction that you generally make your way toward the Anubis Gate. And by the time you get across the city of Siwal to the north, because you realize now that you are in the southern part when you exited the Shadow Road, the sun has begun to actually set, and it is a quasi dusk across the city of Siwal, with this bright orange just trimming at the edge of the horizon across the sand when you look out. As you leave through what you now realize is the Anubis Gate, those at the gate tell you that the Grand Acropolis and the Hall of the Gravebinders is but a short walk away. And as you approach that direction, you see this. And you are coming in from the left side.
Oh, that's cool.
And as you continue to make your way down the path towards this massively walled in area, in the direction that you are pointed to find the Hall of the Gravebinders, we are actually going to step away for a quick break for a couple of minutes. Still trying to be better about those 8:30 breaks.
All right.
So we will return shortly. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, and welcome back to the Adventure Archive. So far this session, Sylvester did some stuff that you can watch and listen to. And everyone made their way off of the Shadow Road, including Sylvester, into the city of Siwal. They emerged in a park in the southern part of the city, and after exploring, found a bustling small metropolis where they were able to find information about the Grand Necropolis, the Gravebinders, and some of the issues that are happening lately. One of those main issues being that the undead, who are supposed to stick to the night, have been coming out in the day and preventing the Gravebinders from being able to lay the dead to rest in their appropriate places. So, you have exited the Anubis Gate and begun to head towards the Grand Necropolis of Siwal. And the Grand Necropolis is located approximately 2,500 feet north of Siwal's Anubis Gate. It's not far. Small, colorful houses and manors, which you were told are the homes of the Gravebinders, stand on either side of a well-worn path leading from the city to City of the Living to the City of the Dead. The Grand Necropolis is known for its size and for the famous heroes buried here, but is also known for many strange and elegant structures and quarters that divide the people by classes according to their birth, even in death.
So even in death, there's no equality, huh?
As you approach the front of the necropolis, you see into it. It's not one building. It is a massive, massive complex. As I said, broken into quarters. Looking ahead, you see streets and avenues lined with white marble and brown bricks of clay jammed together over thousands of tombs and dozens of small shrines, mourning houses, and towering memorials. Both decrepit ruins and new mortared stones are visible to you.
Cutter, seems possible that we could help Gravebinders use our skills together. We solve this problem, and maybe Gravebinders help provide gifts to us.
You might have something there.
Sylvester, you think you could talk them into this?
We could try.
Or should we call you Mamoon?
Mamoon?
I don't know if you have name here.
I've never been here before.
Oh, seems ripe for you then.
Yeah.
As you are having this conversation, you hear a voice call out from behind you. It is getting night. You do not want to go into the Grand Necropolis. And you see this figure calling out to you from one of the larger houses.
So I'll holler back. And why is that?
The dead own the Grand Necropolis at night.
By the dead owning the Grand Necropolis, could you possibly be a touch more specific?
I don't know how else I can say. The dead and the undead roam the grounds, feasting on the living when the sun goes down. Who are you?
Oh, we are but travelers. I am Iskal Helenq.
Iskal Helenq.
Yes.
Roll me a deception check.
Deception.
I'll bane it.
I'll bless it.
Gotta use them.
Yep.
Down to 8 Banes for me. And we will go, Eric will delete one of your blesses too. Ooh, single digits. What did you roll for your deception?
I rolled a 23, and then I blessed it for 1, so 24. So you can get me
Oh,
down
I don't
to
think
20 as best you can do.
I can get you down to a 23. Cancel it out. She says, Iskal, and the rest of you, if your descriptions match what I appear to be seeing, you are missing a small companion, are you not?
And who might you be? I don't believe I caught your name.
My name is Farah Hijati.
Farah Hishati?
Hijati.
No, there's no small person here.
Yes, I believe I was told a gnome would be with you as well.
And who gave you this information?
I have an ally in the north who works with spear maidens. I received a sending from her nearly a week ago. Iskal.
Yes, so about that. Anyhow, so what do you recommend we do?
Well, first, why don't you come to my home? And you notice the house that she's sitting in is close to the Grand Acropolis and is one of the 4 largest homes on the walk up towards the Grand Acropolis.
Looks comfortable. So I don't mind if I do. I'll go ahead and go. I kind of glance at my friends first,
Victor follows.
or companions. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know
will-
Cutter hates the term friend.
I'll follow, but I'm gonna keep an eye on our trail.
Gotcha.
'Cause I don't know if I trust her.
Of
As
course
you
we
get
don't
closer to
trust
her, you see that she is a stately female nearing middle age, with long black hair streaked with gray. She's wearing loose-fitting, sand-colored robes, a wide white sash with slashes of lavender tied around her waist, and an identically designed pashmina over her shoulders. As you step closer, she gestures you into the home. And what you see is a residence with the same kind of vibe as the rest of the city. You see small palm trees actually scattered in large urns or pots scattered throughout. You see a marble floor. You can tell that there is wealth here in an understated way. She directs you into a room that is draped in fine cloths with pillows on the floor, and directs you all to kind of sit and take your ease as she reclines in a corner on a larger set of pillows. And as she does, she claps, and you see a number of servants come in with cool towels on plates, and various beverages that they offer to each of you.
Is she dressed similar to the High Priestess of Sith?
So she's dressed. The picture I posted is her.
Yeah.
So she is in.
But like,
As
is there
I
any
said-
kind of, I guess, similar markings or anything? Like,
No.
okay. So do we get more the vibe that she's a Gravebinder herself?
Why don't you roll me an insight check?
And I'll bless this. Well, that was not very good. So a 12.
You're not quite sure. But as you're kind of eyeing her up and down, she notices all your hesitation. And she says, as my friend in the north said, my enemy of my enemy may not be my ally, but may be useful. As I said, I am Farah Hidyati. I am the matriarch of the Hidyati Gravebinder family.
Nice.
There are 4 main families that comprise the Gravebinders, and we are one of them.
Well, I graciously accept the towel and a beverage. So, well, yes,
Victor
we don't
kind of
have to-
mimics whatever Sylvester's behaviors are because he knows he's a little bit rough around the edges.
So Sylvester is like kind of instantly kind of sensing the almost like ritualistic nature of this. You like with a towel, being, you know, very courteous, like does the thing, takes a drink, and then you just see like Victor just like fat fingering kind of everything, just
Yeah.
like looking over at Sylvester, just like, you know, doing like wiping the stuff and like scrubbing his face with the thing while Sylvester's like tapping his like fingers on it and like casually like grilling himself.
Yeah, and he's trying to get like the remnants of Beat-em because like there's that little meat scraps and stuff. He's trying to get all that
He's
off
just
his
like
shoulder.
scrubbing.
Yeah,
Like ask for a second like cold
Yes.
towel, and the servants are just like
very gauche.
like nodding. Yeah, you're definitely kind of a bull in the china shop right now, with Sylvester kind of apparently taking the lead, and I assume Cutter and Dariana being a little bit more reserved in their demeanor and actions, a little bit on guard, you could say.
Yep.
And she says, what is it? They told me, she told me a little bit of what was going on, but what exactly do you expect from us at the Gravebinders? We have our own troubles right now, and many of us are dealing with that. So what could we possibly do for you?
Well, we are heading to the, is it called the Underworld? Or I might have my terminology wrong.
Imperium or something.
Underworld, Underdark, it's fine either way.
Underdark. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, we have business, unfortunately, in the Underdark, and one of us will blend in seamlessly, but the rest may have difficulty. And we were told that you might be able to assist with that.
She kind of leans in when you said that, and looks over each of you, sips her tea. Her eyes settle on Cutter, and she says, yes, there was a mention of one of you. You don't generally help your kind.
Well, as you said before, enemy of your enemy, and so forth, which his kind is your enemy, but he is theirs as well.
So I ask you again, what is it you think that we can do for you?
Well, as I said, those that can't blend in down there, we were heard that you might be able to assist with that.
Priestess told us you could make us walk unhindered. Yes?
Unhindered amongst the dead of the Ghoul
Wow.
Imperium. Is that the question? I'm losing the accent.
Yes.
Is
She's
that
a French?
Yes.
She's a French pastry chef now.
yeah? Is that what you are asking of me?
Yes.
I believe we have a special skill, especially you say one of their kind very dismissively, but I assure you, Cutter's knowledge will help us get rid of your daytime problem.
Much of what you speak of is rumors. We Gravebinders move about the Grand Necropolis not with magic or trinkets, but because it is the law of this place.
Hmm.
Alas, something has changed in recent months, and these rules are not being adhered to. We are meant to be able to prepare those who have passed by the afterlife during the day, before leaving the area to the undead to roam at night. However, something has been causing the dead to be more restless than usual. Despite our efforts, we have been unable to perform our duties. We do not simply walk amongst the dead and the undead.
What do you do?
As I said, we prepare our dead during the day, and the law of this land is the undead stick to the night, but they are not following the law, and we do not know why. She sits back, she takes her tea, and kind of looks over all of you again. You can tell that at this point she's contemplating. She's looking over each of you and kind of weighing you in her mind.
I comment on the tea, or what did they give me to drink, anyways?
They gave you, well, you had an option at the time of either tea, cold water, or a sweet wine. Kind of a sangria style beverage.
So I would have taken the sangria, the sweet one.
Yep.
And I'll comment on that.
It's real good. It's real good. Yeah. Yes. As she kind of finishes weighing up each of you, she looks towards the two that have yet to speak. And what are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are to get a job done, whatever the cost.
And you?
That seems right to me.
So while we sit here, drink our drinks, wasting time.
While it is true, we Gravebinders do not pass as easily amongst the dead as you hoped, I am aware of where information such as you are looking for may be found. My family has long possessed a book containing many secrets of the undead. My predecessors and I have found it to be of limited help here in the necropolis, and it has gone unused for generations. Your large friend here already said you have a skill set that may be useful to us. If you are able to restore order here in the necropolis by discovering and destroying the roots of the problem, so that we may once again lay our dead to rest, I would part with this book.
And this book will help us on our journey.
The book contains much lore on Derakul and their ghoul kin. I have never bound myself to the tome to delve its full secrets for fear the hunger will consume me. But I know there is much discussion and much information that will help you.
So, we help you, and you give us a book that may or may not help us. This is the bargain you're proposing. Yes? Just I'm not saying no, and I'm not trying to slight you. I'm just trying to say what is.
This is what I have to offer. This book is a great treasure and has been entrusted to my family. I cannot bring myself to give it to just anyone, and my duty is to the necropolis and the people of Siwal. That comes before anything else. If you wish the book, you will need to prove yourself by writing matters here. And do not forget, you traveled halfway across the world to end up on my doorstep.
So I'll look to my traveling companions.
I like books.
Said whatever the cost.
Well, there's your answer then. So
What is this hunger that you speak of associated with the book?
The hunger of the flesh, the hunger that the dead and the undead have, the hunger that your friend undoubtedly has.
I see. Is there any danger to reading the book if you are not like my friend? She looks at Cutter when she said,
It is possible. I know Akma's book of the hungering dead is not read lightly.
I'm still in. What about the rest of you?
I am very
Sounds
I
interested.
fun.
believe I've given my answer.
All right then. So, do you have any leads or ideas how we start this?
Yes,
Favor
what is the
will.
root of your problem?
Well, my undead friend, if I knew the root of the problem, I would rip it out. But I do not.
Really? You would go among the dead. You told us
I
yourself
go-
that they... Go on.
I go among the dead and the undead every day of my life. I am a Gravebinder of the city of Siwal. There are people you may be able to speak to get more information, though. Have you heard of the Elia family?
We have.
Many rumors abound. I do not place stock in rumors. But rumors abound that this may be tied with them. Gamal Ilya frequents a bar, a tavern, I don't know what you would call it otherwise, in the city. He's a patron of the Six-Humped Camel.
How many humps does one need?
Apparently
Hell,
at least 6. The other you may speak with would be Golomesh. He is our resident gravedigger, and he knows much of what happens here. I'm afraid recent events have him being rather reclusive. You could pay him a visit. If Shafika Shiham were here, she might be of assistance, but I am afraid it seems she has abandoned us, at least for now. Her brood might be able to provide some information, but I advise bringing an offering of fresh meat before approaching them.
Any particular type of meat?
I happen to be
Well,
quite proficient at getting me. Human? Is that what they desire?
Well, they are sphinx. I don't know if they are particularly particular about the meat in which they eat. So that is what I can say. Gamal Ilya, the brethren of the Ilya family, Golomesh, our resident gravedigger, or the brood of Shafika Shiham, the sphinxes of the Grand Necropolis. Those are the places where I would start.
Do Sphinx eat camel? Because they're disgusting. I would have no problem feeding camel to them.
In this part of the world, at some point, everybody eats camel.
Very good. Can we go tonight? Because my friend here, he prefers darkness. Or should we wait until day?
Gamal Ilya will most assuredly be in Siwal at the Siktam Campbell at night. If you want to tread at night with no information to speak of at this moment within the walls of the Grand Necropolis, to speak with our gravedigger who himself has been hiding, or to speak with the Sphinxes, I do not know if I could advise that, but it is up to you.
So it sounds like our best bet right now is the 6-hump camel.
I knew you were going to say that, Sylvester, but
It's the sangria giving to me.
I mean, I can't remember your name. Iskol. Did we hear you say your name?
Yeah.
Okay. So he totally fucks up. Like he's got a little bit of the wine. It's gone straight to his head because they haven't drank in a while. And he totally says Sylvester. Says Iskol.
Yeah,
Very unsubtle.
that's okay. She knows anyway, so.
Well, let us go then. Perhaps we find Fetum there. Because we know it's pretty close, right, Ryan? Like walking back to the Anubis
You
cave.
can see the seawall.
from
The
right
Grand
there.
Necropolis is 2,500 feet out the front, and
Cool.
and like as I said, the Gravebinder houses kind of line the whole way. It's not far. It's a couple minutes walk back. And as this conversation was wrapping up, you can see through many of the open windows that are allowing the breeze to kind of drift through her home, that the sun has gone down, and at this point, it is the evening.
Before we go, Farah, your sister in the north offered us place to sleep. I think once we find the information we need, is it okay we stay here, avoid crowds in Siwal?
First, I want to make clear, she is not my sister. She is, from what I understand, a concerned third party.
Mm.
She once met my grandfather, a gravebinder who last was in Morgau decades ago.
Mm.
That is how she has become known to me. As far as staying in our family home, as much as I need your help, there is only so far I can stretch my hospitality without causing a stir amongst my people to some of those amongst you.
Well,
I'm sure that the humps has some kind of place we can stay.
Yes, the lovely lady lumps are
No.
for you.
I'm just glad that Ryan went there because he had asked us to be more serious tonight.
Yeah.
No, he's like, don't talk about toes, but I'm
We've
gonna
been
talk
holding
about
it in.
lovely
We've
lady
been holding it in
lumps.
for an hour now.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it.
The
It's
tailgate's
been in my
over.
head the entire time, and I just had to get it out.
Does
So.
your milkshake bring all the boys to the yard?
To the
All
souk.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So let's
Oh,
That's
Hump day.
all right. I
Let's go
open the
find some
floodgates.
humps.
God fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. All right.
So really quick, Sidra, no, you've been more than hospitable, but you mentioned your grandfather was in Morgau.
Decades ago, when your recent companion was a younger servant of Sif, that is how she became known to the Gravebinders, and the Gravebinders became known to her.
Interesting. Okay.
And you do recall when you were originally speaking with the High Priestess of Sif, that she said at one point that her knowledge of the Gravebinders is mostly because she had met one decades ago, and that there hadn't been one in Morgau in quite a long time.
All right. Well, shall we go to the called the camel now?
A camel.
shall we get a hump on?
But oh gosh. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'll just type it.
Yeah, so we'll keep the game serious in the chat, Goofy. Let's all work on that in the future.
Oh.
All right. No. All right. So we head out. Yes?
See.
Yeah. Okay.
Victor, all you need is one. Fear
Mm.
not.
And he's like a little rosy, and as he stands up, his armor kind of like clinks around. But because I guess were we kind of probably sitting on the floor a little bit with like beautiful silk pillows and stuff like that, like just
Oh, for
gorgeous
sure.
and marble.
For sure, lounge pillows,
Yeah.
lush carpeting, the whole nine. It was a beautiful scene that you were kind of.
He's the
And
worst, but
also,
he is
too-
kind of dreaming back to that time he had a bath like months ago, and he's kind of looking forward to finding maybe his second bath of the year.
Yeah,
And-
your BO just blended right in with the city of
Oh,
Siwal.
yeah.
Just
Could I get-
wafted away with all the rest of it.
Could I get an idea of how many people are in this house?
Could you get an idea of how many people are actually in the house? So you,
I know there's some
the-
servants and her, but yeah, just trying to ballpark if I got an idea. If I can.
The house is much larger than any of the area than beyond the area that you saw. You were kind of directed through a foyer area into what appeared to be like a large room specifically designed for like greeting and talking with people. You were not directed into a lot of the rest of the house, and a lot of the rest of the house was behind flowing silk curtains and beads and things like that. But it does appear to be a large house. You get the sense that there are probably, especially based on the number of different servants that you saw come through, a number of people potentially in the double digits in addition to the servants. But the only person that you saw outside of those servants was the matriarch Kijati.
Okay.
Damn, I cannot roll for shit in the chat. It's been awful for days. Anyway, what are you doing as you leave?
We're going to find Gamal Elia at the camel.
All right, and how are you doing that? As you head out of or down the road from the Grand Necropolis, from the City of the Dead back towards the City of the Living, what are you doing?
I think we're going to try and make our way to the six-hump camel.
Okay. Why don't you roll me an investigation check to try to find your way to the six-humped camel?
Is anybody helping me?
I will help you.
Yeah, that would make sense. You can use one of my
So you get
blesses.
advantage. Is that what we're doing?
I think he's got plenty of his own. Yeah, if you both want to kind of scout out the direction, stop and talk to people, get a general direction towards
That's one.
the six hump camel.
So 14.
Bless that baby.
Oh yeah.
Baby.
You blessing that baby?
Yeah.
I
Why
mean, you
not?
only have
Let's use-
9.
I've used a
Yeah.
couple
Jesus,
already
I have
today.
14. I need to start blessing.
All right, 17.
All right, down to 8 with a 17. You after speaking to just the right people, you have a good eye for that. Finding people that look like they have the appropriate information and then being able to talk to them and get that information. You are directed towards the six humped camel. And as you get towards this tavern, what you see, it's not the biggest tavern in Siwal. It's not the nicest tavern in Siwal, but it's similar to some of the other taverns in Siwal in that a lot of it is very open. It appears that there are kind of pillars around this kind of one open room with a bar in the back, and all of these heavy fabric like rolls that you get the sense that when unbound would kind of cover the whole structure if they were to close. Do you know what I'm saying? But they're all rolled up. The breeze from the city and everything is like blowing through this wide open space with tables that are roughly half full. And there is a barkeep in the back. On the front, you see this beautifully painted sign with a large camel on it. And it indeed has 6 humps.
All right, we'll head in.
All right.
And we never asked what this guy looked like, did we?
You did not.
He's one of the Ilias that would be rich, maybe. Or he'll look like a cleric, perhaps.
Or you just ask for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we walk in.
All right. So as you walk in, again, half the tables are full. Some people are eating. Some people are drinking. There's a volume to it that from the outside is kind of drowned out in the volume of the rest of the city. But as you come in, again, you passed busier places, but it's not as if this place is quiet or anything by any means. It's just roughly half full. The evening is early. The barkeep is in the back, just kind of doing his barkeeps do and just keeping busy between drinks. You do see some serving maids making their way forth, kind of dressed. They have, the like headscarves around them, but they also do have like bodices with some little bells on them and things like that. Blooming kind of hammer pants, carrying trays with various different, not necessarily tankards, but more like chalice style glasses to some of the various tables. So as you make your way in, are you sitting down? Are you talking to the barkeep? Are you grabbing one of the
I think I'd try and just grab an open table first and get a lay of the place.
Okay, all right. So as you sit down, one of the barmaids comes over after leaving another table, tray in her hand, and as I said, kind of belly exposed, little, I mean, how more stereotypical can I get? You understand what I'm saying, right? Like
Yeah,
blousey
gotcha,
little
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
midriff
Yeah.
top. Yeah. And she's just like, well, what can I get for you?
It's been a long day. I could probably use some food. What do you have in the way of food?
We
Or do
have well, what are you looking for? We have a number of things. We have fine meats, we have vegetables, we have
Surprise me. Whatever is your favorite. And some drinks, and then I don't know what my friends want. Do you have any perhaps uncooked meats? I have a dog
we can-
outside that I like to feed.
I mean, we can find uncooked meat quite quickly.
That would be splendid.
Gotcha. All right. So she disappears back into the back of the six-humped camel, and as you sit down again, you look out, kind of separated from everybody else, and everyone seems to be drinking and in conversation.
Raided.
Hey, thank you so
Raid.
much for the raid, my lady Kaito. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. This is the Dark Kingdoms. It is our evil campaign. And the party is currently in the Southlands of Midgard in the city of Siwal, attempting to aid the Gravebinders in trying to figure out why the undead are plaguing the Great Necropolis during the day, stopping them from doing the funeral rites they need to for their local dead. So thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Can we get a shout out from my lady Kato, please? My lady. I had to. Had to.
Okay, law.
Good. I feel like there's like a mashup of my lady and my lovely lady lumps in there somewhere, but I can't.
No.
I'm too tired.
Oh, bringing it
Oh,
back.
man.
Bringing it back.
Um,
I'm not gonna.
Oh,
There we
did
go.
it. Oh, why?
I think
Oops.
Victor
yeah,
gave
no worries.
us-
I just drag and copy paste because I know I'm gonna get zeros and Y's and I's and stuff wrong. So thank you. So you were streaming Dungeons and Dragons as well. I hope you had a wonderful session. We really appreciate you hopping into our session. As we continue, let me move her a little bit off to the side. You're looking around, you're seeing this, you're waiting for your food, you're waiting for your beverages. At one point, the serving lady comes back out and she passes out glasses, chalices of cold sangria style fruited wine to all of you. And then disappears back into the back. At one point, you hear this loud kind of like coming from the back of the place.
Okay.
And then what are you doing as you're waiting for your
So,
surprise food and raw meat?
I'm just kind of looking around at the various patrons, trying to get an
Mhm.
idea of who's in here. I know I don't know their names per se, but clientele type, I guess.
Gotcha. You get the sense that this is kind of a mid-tier, like middle-class bar, not necessarily like blue collar. You see some people wearing some like fine clothes, but a little bit worn. You don't see a lot of silks in here. People generally seem to have enough coin to come in and have some drinks and have some food and stuff like that. They're not splashing it like crazy. This doesn't seem like a relatively high-end establishment. By no stretch of the imagination does it seem like a low-tier thieves' den style place either. It's just kind of standard fare. Is what you find yourself in.
Okay.
Do we overhear anybody just kind of saying the name Gamal? Like talking to people and just saying Gamal? Because he sounds like maybe
Roll me a
he's just-
perception check. Roll me a
Okay.
perception check.
Come on, baby. And we'll bless it, of course,
Oh yeah.
because we've got them. Come on.
I was gonna say you don't have to
Oh.
declare it first, but
yeah. 12. Same.
So with the 12, you look around. You don't really overhear any of the conversation. It's all kind of a low din. Realistically,
Okay.
you do see a number of different kinds of patrons. So you do see some what look like some other out-of-towners, kind of like you guys eating some food. You see a lot of it that just looks, like I said, like kind of standard, like mid-tier citizens of the place. You do in one corner though see a figure kind of sitting by himself. In the corner, kind of where the wall meets an open area, and a lot of the kind of bunched up curtain that closes it creates a little bit of a corner. And he just has his head in his hands, and a drink in front of him. And you see at one point he finishes the drink off, and the barmaid is already bringing over another one, as if this is just kind of a routine at this point for them. He looks as if he would be a relatively handsome middle-aged man, but he's just unkempt. He just doesn't look like he's showered recently. His clothes are a little bit worn. He's got a scruff to him, and like not a sexy scruff. It's just gone a little too long. The beard's a little too undone. He just looks like he hasn't been taking care of himself. And probably the last time he was taken care of, someone kind of was like, hey, listen, you gotta take a bath or something. And someone needs to tell him that again at this point. He just looks despondent.
When the waitress comes back over to us, like with one of the like waves of food and stuff, Victor kind of just asks like, is that the man known as Gamal?
That man over there?
In the corner, yes.
Yes, that is indeed Gamal Ilya.
So he kind of looks at Dariana. It's like, Dariana, I know this is not normally your specialty, but I think perhaps you could catch his attention and find out what we need to know without us scaring him.
Are you saying I'm not scary?
So I think you are perhaps the scariest of us, besides Beatum, of course. But I think where he is at right now mentally, and he has blood, so
We don't even know
perhaps
where he
you'll
is.
Oh, we will find Beatum. We will just follow the smoke.
Thank you, Fanazi, for gifting Brazino with Bless. So.
Well,
Oh,
what would
sorry.
you...
I do not. I think if I go over there, he perhaps think I'm being sent to, break neck.
I see.
As you're kind of having this conversation with Dariana, and she's kind of looking at you like, one of the waitress comes out with this kind of like heavily laden plate of just still kind of like dripping raw meat, and lays it on the table, while another one comes out and passes out some plates to the rest of you. It appears to be cooked meat with some looks like seasonal local vegetables on the side. It's nice. It's definitely an adequate meal. And before you're able to dig in, she looks it over and says, that will be 1 gold, please.
I'll cost her a gold. And I'm sorry, I have to step away just for a second.
Oh, no worries.
Okay.
So as this mystery meat and your meals are placed in front of you, what were you saying?
Who?
Both of you.
Oh. What would you like me to ask him?
Oh, I'm pretty sure the matriarch said we could find him, get information we need to be able to solve problems at Necropolis. But I feel like Cutter, obviously, not the most beautiful face right now. Sylvester,
Actually,
not to
I
be
am
trusted.
quite beautiful.
Are you wearing the Atticus face right now?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I've been wearing for a
Oh,
while.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna wear the other one, but I ate it because it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, So when you're between like fresh faces, you just kind of wear the Atticus face if the one's getting a little too.
Yeah.
For
well,
those
depending on the
that are
situation.
unaware, Cutter is a Darecool, which means he is an incredibly intelligent ghoul, and he wears humanoid faces as a kind of disguise. So after killing and eating them, he cuts their face off and wears it. And at one point, he cut off the face of a companion's companion, who was a dashing young man, and loved the face so much that he had it magically preserved to be able to use it more than once, as opposed to what he normally does, which is use the face until it kind of starts to go, and then just kind of fruit roll-upping it into his mouth, and eating it when he gets a new one. So currently he has a very beautiful face on. So he's a pretty boy.
Well, if you think, Qatar, I sense though that Farah seemed to know your origin, and if Gamal also Gravebinder, perhaps he not trust you.
I'll go. I'm a little weary since the problem might lie within his family.
I very much understand, but I feel a cleric of death might not be best question. Sylvester, clearly too beautiful to be trusted. That blonde hair. Cutter, he might sense.
And I'm not scary, I'm not beautiful. And then Dariana gets up and just like pushes in her chair and walks over to her.
Nice.
So I guess she'll just walk over to the man and try to get his attention. Subtly.
Maybe, without your scariness or beauty or
Yeah.
anything.
I think she'll actually get a drink and bring it to him.
Okay. So as this man is kind of sitting there, you swing past the bartender, you grab your beverage, pay the fee, walk over and just place it on the table in front of him.
Yeah, I think I'll place it and kind of slide it over and say, you look distressed. I thought you could use this.
He looks up at you, looks at the drink, looks at like the half full drink in his hand, picks up the next one, says, well, thank you. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm new here and I'm just trying to understand this area a little bit better, and you look like you're from here.
Yes, I am from here. My family is from here. I cannot forget that I am from here.
You seem like you don't like being from here.
I like it fine. I wish other people would forget I am from here.
I'm sorry. So, why do you seem so upset?
It is family business.
Your family has a business.
Sure, let us call it that. Let us call it a family business.
You don't like the family business, I take it?
It's not that I do not like the family business. It is that people will not let us forget people. It is... There is nothing I can do.
What do you mean?
What is
come
your
on.
name? What is
Just
your name?
confide in a stranger in a bar.
Yes, yeah,
Just
Jewel.
one night? You seem so sad. Why not just have a good time for once?
Listen, I do not have the coin for this. I appreciate it, but that is not what I am looking for at the moment. Thank you. Maybe the large man over there likes the woman of the night, but I am okay.
So
That's not what I meant.
I can see them having their conversation. Yes.
Yeah. So after Victor kind of basically said, Dariana, why don't you slide along over there and have a conversation? Dariana is having the conversation with Ilya right now.
Okay. So
Or with Gamal.
quick question: can I drop mass suggestion on a single person?
You can choose the number of people.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to just let some dissipate, you could do that.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and I'll use my new subtle spell so nobody sees me do it. And do a mass suggestion at him and just say, trust her and tell her everything she wants to know.
Okay.
And
Why don't
I'm
you
going to do that telepathically because I can speak telepathically to him.
Okay. Right.
That's awesome.
Why don't you throw that up in the VTT? Is there a save or something for that?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
And I will put it up. Where is it? There we go.
And it's 5th level, right?
Actually, it's a 6th level spell.
Oh, damn. You're up to 6 now. Okay.
Well,
24 hours, you suggest a course of action limited to a sentence or two, magically influence up to 12. Up to 12 creatures, so as many as you want. Creatures that can't be charmed, blah, blah, blah. Some creatures stab itself, blah, blah, blah. Can't make him immolate himself. Good to know.
I have
Wisdom
another spell for
saving
that.
throw. Yeah, wisdom saving throw on a failed save, they do. And what is your spell save DC?
18.
All right. So he has now been suggested to him to trust Dariana and to confide in her. Is that what the suggestion was?
Yep.
Okay. So as the conversation gets back to what they were saying to Dariana, and he was just like, I'm not looking for a lady of the night. It is not. I appreciate it. Thank you. I just do not have the coin.
I'm not a lady of the night. Like I said, I'm just new to town and looking for information about this area and maybe making new friends.
He still thinks this is what you're going for, just so you know.
Siwal.
But there's this glimmer in the back of his eyes suddenly. You're unaware of it, but the spell seems to have taken hold of him. And he says, you know what? If I can talk to anyone, it is a stranger, right? Everyone knows who I am. No one lets me forget it. You don't know. You don't know of the Ilya family. You do not know of our troubles.
Oh. Why don't you tell me about it? You get to be the one to tell me. I know nothing else.
Another, please. One more. And what is your name again, young lady?
I'll just tell my real name. I'm Dariana.
Ariana, I am Gamal. It is a pleasure to meet you. The Ilya family is an important family in this town. And a long time ago, we lost a number of our family members in the Grand Necropolis. Do you know the Grand Necropolis? Have you seen the City of the Dead?
Yes, I believe I passed by it.
There are problems lately with the Gravebinders. They are unable to do their duties to bury the dead of the city, and people are blaming it on our family and the wicked people that they brought in to try to help. They were trying to help. They were trying to bind a powerful creature within our own family tomb, and fell. So to blame us, I do not understand this. But here's the problem. Here is the problem that I have. This is what I am drinking over each night and fighting with myself about. Some months back, a number of men came to me and asked me to reveal the location of our family tomb within the Grand Necropolis. I was unable to resist, and I knew at the time what they were trying to do. They were looking for that powerful entity that my family sealed within that tomb. I knew it, and yet I told them what it was. So these rumors blaming the Elia family, it is true, but not for the reasons that they think. And now all of these problems, they're laid at my feet. And I can tell no one but this strange woman in front of me.
Why did you tell them?
I do not know. I do not remember even speaking it until after. Something just came over me, some type of suggestion that made me just speak from my gut. And I was unable to stop it.
That's so strange.
Yes. I can never
Wonder who
let
could do
something like
that.
that. I can never let something like that happen to me again.
No, never. You seem like such a strong man. I don't think it will ever happen to you again.
And again, just reinforcing this, like, and he starts to like maybe like debate how much coin he has at this point.
What were these men like?
Honestly,
were
I
they?
barely. I do not know. I do not know. I honestly don't remember much about them. They were clad in black. They showed up at my home. They asked their questions. I answered them. I still, again, not know why. And they left. And it was shortly after that that the problems with the Gravebinders started.
And you said your family was trying to help, but now everyone is blaming your family.
Everybody knows the story of the Elia family. Have you heard the story of the Elia family, of the powerful entity that they bound within the tomb and then were betrayed and murdered trying to leave the Grand Necropolis? That is what happened to my family. And that entity, whether it is real or not, is what these men were after. That is what I think.
And do you think that it is now this entity that is causing all of the problems in the necropolis?
I do not know, but I suspect. And if so, it is my fault.
No. I don't think so. I'm sure you did all you could to resist these men.
I wish I had been stronger.
But you look so strong.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry about your troubles.
I appreciate that, strange woman. Unlike that night, I hope I remember this one.
Yes, it should be a great night. And then she buys him another drink and walks away.
I hope so. Oh wait, no. Where are you? Oh no. I am sad again.
Aw.
And as you
Oh no.
as you give him the drink, and walk away, yes, he is despondent, and he just drinks it and gets up and walks out of the 6-humped camel.
Okay. I guess after he walks out, then I'll rejoin the party and let him know what I learned.
Okay.
So, what is this entity?
I'm not sure. He just said that it was a powerful entity that his family had trapped under their tomb. And that men came looking for it. And he told them where it was.
We do have all this meat here. Perhaps we go talk to Sphinx, bring meat and ask about entity.
Well, actually, I got the meat for Cutter.
We could probably use a
Missed you,
good night's
Sylvester.
sleep.
Okay.
You actually kind of, after he says that, you kind of lean in, get this whiff, and you have this. It's got a smell to it. It's very fresh. And at one point, you actually can reach in and you see this coarse hair stuck between two slabs of it, and you pull it out, and it is unmistakably camel hair.
Hmm. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. So you just
You can have
grab
the tartar
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, it's definitely camel tartar right now.
Tartar, yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely camel tartar. And I have no idea whether you like it or not. Why don't you roll me why don't you just roll me a d20? Just a d20.
All right.
The lower, the grosser, the higher, the tastier.
Okay.
It's fucking
good.
delicious. It's damn good. It's a little gamey. It's juicy. Firm but not too firm. It's good. Camel's good.
Fresh is all you needed. Is all Cutter needed to know.
That's
Fresh.
it. And again, it feels like it was just butchered.
So I'm gonna look back
Despite
over
the
at-
sun, this place isn't so bad.
Ah, good. Glad you enjoy the camel. I'm gonna look over at Dariana. So I suggested that he trust you and confide in you. We have.
Oh, so it wasn't my.
Oh, it was. It definitely was, but I just figured nudge him in the right direction. But it lasts for 24 hours. I'm wondering if we shouldn't. He seemed rather despondent, and perhaps we should offer to help. It seems he wants the same thing as Farha Hijadi, if I'm saying her name right. So perhaps if we say
You want me to
maybe
go talk to him again?
I don't think it's a bad idea.
Do
don't
we
know what this
follow
entity is.
Sylvester?
We
or-
don't know. We don't know what the entity is. We don't know. Maybe he has an idea of how we can fix this problem.
That is fair.
You want to go seek him out in the night after
Possibly.
you
Well, and that's
straight
fun
just-
too. Yeah.
yeah. After you're like, thanks for the info, bye.
I'm just, building the tension
There you go.
Yeah.
between them.
There you go.
Maybe he's going to get some requiem, and so I'll come.
And he runs into beat him. So what are you gonna do though?
I mean, if he didn't walk out the door too long ago, I guess I can go look. But I mean, I don't.
It's
probably
been a
not
little
that
while right now. You kind of get up from the table, you walk in the direction that he went out, and when you look out, the city is not any less bustling than it was now that it's nighttime. It's just kind of a different vibe to it. But the streets are still packed. In any direction you look at this point, he appears to be long gone.
Okay. You said it lasts 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could question the other people we were told about, and maybe I could come here a little bit earlier tomorrow and talk to him again before it wears off.
Yeah.
Just an
Sure.
idea. I can't seem to find him.
Seems very confident he will be here.
Well, we were told he's here every night, so he seemed pretty upset.
Farah, she mentioned Golomesh, Brethren of Golomesh. Do you know what that is?
He's the Golomesh is the gravedigger.
That he is too weak to to enter grave now, even during day. Yes.
And supposedly he's hiding out, I believe.
Hmm.
We can go look, but I believe we might have to go into the necropolis to do so. But is that the idea I got? Was that he's somewhere hiding out in the necropolis?
So he resides in the necropolis, is what you remember her saying. But that he has also had his own troubles recently. In that generally he is able to go about his business unhindered most of the time, as far as laying people to rest. But with the undead kind of making the Grand Necropolis their home during the day as well, he has been unable to complete his duty, which is to actually bury them. And she told you that generally he is left alone, but even at night now, he is being harassed by the undead, and has since kind of shut himself away since he is unable to do his job.
Okay. So, I don't know if we want to go looking for him right now.
Do you know where to find Sphinx? We saw a statue, I think, at the front gate, but that's a statue. Cannot talk to.
Oh, you're talking about the brood of Fashika?
Farah seemed to tell us that you can feed meat to Sphinx. That's when I asked her if we could feed camel to it. And apparently they eat camel often. But I do not know where to find these Sphinx. I'd never heard of Sphinx.
Yeah, she didn't give us an idea where. That was the brood of Fashika, right?
She did tell you that they are actually within the Grand Necropolis itself, but that the mother of the brood has actually recently disappeared.
Mm.
She has left. She has left the area. You did not inquire why she may have left.
I mean, we are trying to get on night schedule. Necropolis is there. Next two people we find. Perhaps we go at night, try to find this coward, Golamesh. And if we see Sphinx Brute, whatever that is, we give them some of this platter of furry meat.
Well, I'm fine with that. The impression I got was it's quite a bit more dangerous at night in the necropolis.
So how long has it been since we've long rested? I think we were in the shadow area.
Yeah, so you had spent, I think, at least half the day on the Shadow Road, but when you had stepped out into Siwal, it was already the evening, so you didn't lose much time, but it is definitely getting towards evening.
This place seems good as any for us to spend evening.
Yeah, I'll inquire about rooms with the woman who keeps coming over to our table.
Yeah. Well, when you ask the barkeep, there are a few rooms available. Again, they're average. But like everything, they seem to be pricey. It will be a gold each, and there are 2 available rooms.
We'll take them both.
Okay. All right. So you are going to then post up here for the evening.
Do we need to find Beatum? I'm pretty sure he will be out of it, but probably better he sleep in a room than in alleyway.
Knowing Beatum, you get the sense that he is to an extent in his element,
Okay.
in one way, shape, or form, aka I don't want to run beat him, let him go do
Yeah.
his own thing.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
clubbing it. He's clubbing
He's clubbing it
with his
yeah,
nomi.
he is deep within a requiem den somewhere, speaking with the dead,
Was that a good dad joke, Jess?
I think
reigniting.
so.
Okay.
Oh my god, I think I was talking and missed it. Did you say his nomies?
His nomis. Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Inspo?
I mean, if dad jokes is the
We are trying to be more serious this evening. It's
is
very
the
difficult.
prerequisite, then yeah, I think Victor and the nomies got an inspiration for that.
That'd be
I'll
cool.
drop. Do you already have one?
I do not. Oh, I do.
Is that your new band, Victor and the
Aw.
Nomies?
I do. Oh, that'd be.
You don't, but now you
Oh.
do. So as you are settling into the Sick Hump Camel for the evening, kind of preparing yourself to go to rest, that is where we will call our session for this evening.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good stopping point, no reason to push it just a little bit longer. So thank you all for being here. Great session, guys. A slightly different vibe in the Southlands.
Is this from the new book, the new Kickstarter or whatever?
I wish it had come out that fast, but no, it is not quite from the Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, that's not the one I wanted.
That's pretty chill.
Sound like old video game music.
Yeah. So can we start getting some shout outs here, please? Can we get an L2S in the chat, please? Can we get a Ducky in the chat, please? Someone throw out a Jason for our wonderful Jason Furman here. He streams, he writes 1,000 words. Jump into our Discord channel.
Buy his book.
Oh, I
Yes,
got mine
if
today.
you yeah, if you go to
Excited.
the link tree, if you go to our link tree, you will see Forged of Ice and Blood. It is a book written by Jason that was in honor of a friend and player of ours here on the Adventure Archive who has since passed. It is the story of their first adventure, or what could have been between Thurg and Thrubadorn. So go check that out. All proceeds perpetually for this will all go towards his family, as well as if you look at our merch, the Thrub Love sticker, the heart with the mace, all of the proceeds from that will also perpetually go towards Doug's family. Jason, we also have a game starting tomorrow, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure. If you have not joined the last couple of sessions, we are going to run or begin our 0 session for Merkborg, which let me see if my camera will. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So it is the dark fantasy apocalyptic, a doom metal album of a game, a spiked flail to the face, rules light, heavy everything else. OSR style, so we're having our
Four innies this year, product of the
Four
year,
innies.
golden product of the year, silver and game of the year, gold and like design of the year. Gorgeous book, amazing game.
Yeah, and so we are starting a 0 session because it is a system that I'm sure a lot of people aren't familiar with, and so we're gonna do some character creation, go over the rules, and then the following week will be we'll kick off the game.
Yep. And that will be with myself as players. With Jess will also be a player in it.
And Silent
Janelle.
Ducky.
Yeah,
Boy.
Ducky. Drop another Ducky in the chat if someone could, please. And the wonderful Janelle, who was recently the guest star Selvin here on our channel, and also plays Fakira on Mondays during our Theros game. The 4 of us will be having that 0 session tomorrow. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am for that. Now I will be running games Wednesday here at the Dark Kingdoms, which is our Evil campaign. I am now a player Monday with well, we're reshuffling. We just had the finale. Make sure you go check out the finale. It was so much fun, but I will be a player on that as well as we begin the second arc of Mythic Odysseys of Theros, DM'd by Evil Andy. I believe we are taking a week or two off before we begin that next arc. And then now Thursdays, we are going to have Jason running Morkborg with Foundry. I'm very excited to check out Foundry.
Yeah.
As we slowly move away from Roll20. So yeah. I have to do all of my outros, and then we will look for a raid. Level if you leveled. You did not level. Sorry. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much for the raid earlier. We really appreciate that. Can we get a Sursa in the chat, please? And as well as a Sketch Risk. Sketch Risk is the amazing artist who did all of the character art that you saw on our BRB screen and rotating through our portraits. He is wonderful. Please make sure you check him out. We already dropped our socials. Join our Discord. Help us continue to build our community. Check out all the awesome stuff we have on our merch. I can't think of anything else unless I'm forgetting some business. So if you guys want to, I don't know, entertain for a moment, and I will hunt for a raid unless somebody has any suggestions for one now.
I've got none.
Blackwater D&D.
Ooh.
Dream Wisp Jen.
I think
There's
Blackwater is Canadian as a shout out to L2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a
That's
lot
for
of
L2.
D&D going on right now.
Yes.
There is a lot of D&D going on right now, more than what usually appears on Wednesdays. Why don't we? I just want to make sure that these guys, that this is it's live. It's not a rerun. Why don't we jump into Fabled 42? They have rated us before. They are a bunch of really, really cool people. I think we might have I'm not sure if they're the ones that we rated before that had like that crazy tabletop going. Or if that was Paul Dance's. But why don't we hop into
Oh, yeah.
why don't we hop into Fabled 42? So we are going to go to our end screen. I'm going to run some credits for our new follows and all that kind of stuff, just to say thank you to the community. And we are going to raid. So yes, make sure you drop all those evil raids into Fabled 42, and we will hop over there with more guns to finish it off. Again, catch us tomorrow at 7:00 for some Morkborg. Catch us next Wednesday for some more of this campaign, the Dark Kingdoms, our Evil campaign, and we will let you know when the next arc of Mythic Odysseys of Theros is beginning. We appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.